here that in the next 4 stanzas that he wrote, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay used the words Shaptokoti, which means 7 crores. Now, 7 crores in the 1871 census was the population of undivided Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Assam. So this means that the novel, the hymn, was about Bengal. The hymn was about Bengal, and the mother he refers to is also in Bengal's concept and Bengal's context. This was not originally written as a nationalistic, pan-India song. It was not. Let's be very clear about that. So how did it become this nationalistic song? How does A.R. Rahman sing it in 1997? How? It was none other than the poet laureate Rabindranath Tagore who composed the first musical score of the song based on Desh Ragini around 1885. Rishi Bankim liked the song and the tune so much, he himself included it in the 3rd edition of his book, Anandamot, in 1886. Tagore, in 1937, writes to Nehru, and he writes to Nehru that the privilege of originally setting its first stanza to the tune was mine. When the author was still alive, Bankim died in 1894. He says, I set it to tune while Bankim was still alive. And I was the first person to sing it. So Tagore was the first person to sing it publicly before a public gathering of the Calcutta Congress in 1896. So Tagore sets the tune and he sings it publicly in the presence of Rahmatullah Saini, Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendranath Banerjee. The song gained mass popularity when? Only after 1905, when the Swadeshi movement as a reaction to Lord Curzon's partition of Bengal took place. Itinerant singers sung it in Prabhat Feris every morning to raise national consciousness. Rabindranath Tagore himself on Raksha Bandhan Day, October 16th, 1905, led the famous anti-partition protest where Hindus and Muslims tied Rakhis on each other and said, Vande Mataram. Today, this BJP government, who claims to promote Vande Mataram, has ensured that even the moon, that moon of Raksha Purnima, that moon of Eid, has been partitioned. Hindu women can break their Karwa Chauth fast on their roof with the sighting of the moon, but a Muslim in a BJP-ruled state is forbidden from offering Eid ka namaz on his roof to the same moon. And you are blaming a song for India's divisiveness. The song was sung again during the Congress session in Benares in 1905 by Tagore's niece, Sharla Devi Chaudhurani, who replaced the Shaptokoti, the 7 crores, with Trikshakoti, which means 30 crores, which is the population of India in the last census of 1901. So this is the first time that the song is gathering a pan-national appeal. Gandhiji, in the Indian Opinion paper, he writes in December 1905 that this song is so popular. Just as we worship our mother, so is this song a passionate prayer to India. Tagore continued to use the refrain Vande Mataram almost as a slogan in some of his own songs. He says it in many of his own songs. Many of his own songs use the term Vande Mataram. The Swadeshi agitation of 1905 and 1908 saw Vande Mataram as a clarion call. The great Tamil poet Subramanya Bharati, he translated it in Tamil in 1905. It began to be sung in meetings and processions all over India, from coastal Andhra Pradesh, from Vijayawada and the Krishna, to after Jallianwala Bagh in the canals and cantonments of Punjab, where they didn't think of it as a Bengali Sanskrit hymn. They saw it as a shared call of resistance. You, this government today, claim to be the guardians, the true upholders of the spirit of Vande Mataram. We've listened to the Prime Minister for an hour. We've listened to the Honorable Defence Minister for an hour tell us about how they are the true upholders of Vande Mataram. So let me, as a true Bengali, as a proud Bengali, speak for 10 koti Bengalis today, who you call Bangladeshis, who you call Rohingyas. You harass us on the streets, in colonies. You throw us out when we are pregnant across the border. I'm going to dissect the song stanza by stanza and demonstrate how you are butchering both the spirit and the soul of Vande Mataram far more than any 1937 resolution ever did. Shujalang Shufalang Balayaja Shitalang Shushamlang Mataram. What do we have here? What have you done on your watch? Shujalang, beautiful abundant water. Over 70% of India's surface water is undrinkable today. India ranks 120 out of 122 countries in the Water Quality Index. 21 major cities, including Delhi and Bangalore, are expected to deplete their groundwater reserves by 2030. And yet, in the face of this data, the government is cutting the Jal Jeevan Mission money to all the states. Bengal itself is owed 3,000 crores in Jal Jeevan Mission money. This is what you are doing for Sujalam. Malayaja Shitalam, the cool, fresh air. This is a joke. The AQI in the national capital today is between 800 and 1,000 routinely. Our children are choking. The elderly are dying. You know what the centre has done? The centre has exempted 78% of thermal power plants from installing key anti-polluting systems. The Environment Ministry has spent less than 1% of its 858 crore pollution fund in 24-25. Fossil fuel-driven pollution claims 1.72 million lives in India, and premature mortality due to outdoor air pollution costs India $339 billion US. That's 9.5% of our GDP. That's what we are doing for Malayaja Shitala. Shoshra Shamalam, the blessed fertility of the soil. What's the government done? The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare saw a reduction in its budget of 2.5% this year. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, meant for the poorest of farmers, suffered a cut of 3,600 crores. It is estimated that 37% of India's land is affected by degradation. 2/3 of soil samples collected from India are deficient in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and 85% contain too little carbon for functioning soil systems. Shuhashining, Shumoduro Bhashining, sweet smile, sweet in speech. You, the ruling party, with your hate speech, routinely call for violence against Muslims and minorities. For calls from genocide in Haridwar to open threats in rallies, you use terms like vote bank, infiltrators, goosepetia, those with more children as dog whistles. You impose Hindi on us. You call Bangla a Bangladeshi language. You have unleashed the worst kind of linguistic terrorism on all of us, where people are scared to speak their mother tongue in the streets of Delhi, in the streets of Gurgaon. There is no Shumodhura Bhashaning in today's BJP. Shukhodang, Borodang, Mataram, give us happiness. Today, an arbitrary, hurried exercise of your design is making the Election Commission force such work pressure that BLOs are committing suicide. And what does the Election Commission say to us? They say, oh, it's in the line of duty. They should be happy doing it. India is ranking 118 out of 147 countries in the 2025 World Happiness Report. To be a minority in India today is to be perpetually suspect, perpetually second class, and perpetually subordinate. Far from feeling happy, minorities are fearing the state instead of feeling protected by it. Tumi vidya, tumi dharmo. Sir, I have 22 minutes. Only two speakers.
1 minute. Time has to extend.